The New York Knicks made quite a splash recently as they traded for point guard Derrick Rose, the former MVP who, well, at one time looked like he was going to be controlling the NBA for a few seasons, and then his knees just gave out on him, and it's been a struggle ever since. The Chicago Bulls said, all right, we're done with this mess. And so he's heading over to the Knicks, and personally, I'd like to be cautiously optimistic that this could actually go well for Derrick Rose and the New York Knicks, and I think some of the potential of that is, one, just another season of being away from injuries could lead to Derrick beating defenders off the dribble and driving inside and being effective finishing around the rim, but also some of his teammates intrigue me as well because I think his on-court relationship with Carmelo Anthony could be very effective given Rose's ability to handle the ball and Melo's ability to score from basically everywhere on the floor, as well as Kristaps Porzingis, who seems to be some dude who was made in a lab somewhere to be the perfect stretch big man for the next 15 years of the NBA. So I think some good things can happen with Derrick Rose on the Knicks, but at the same time, he could maintain his inability to really be effective inside and finishing some shots that he once made, and he also might just never be the shooter that he once was either. It really could go either way. So we're going to see how 2K feels about this whole thing. But also, given that this will be for the 2016/17 season, I'm going to assume that the Knicks do at least okay in free agency. So I'm going to give him Zaza Pachulia, who was a decent enough center for the Dallas Mavericks, as well as Kent Bazemore to play shooting guard, who shot well from three for Atlanta, and he was also no slouch on defense either. Of course, he's one of the more athletic players in the NBA as well. Besides that, the other key role player who is going to still be here is Lance Thomas, who last season for the Knicks shot 40% from three, and he was also pretty decent from mid-range as well. A quality shooter to have on this team. Now, given that Derrick Rose has declined, I do want to look at his attributes a little bit. Definitely not what he once was, but at the same time, there's still the ability to get inside and be somewhat effective. He did not shoot well from three last season, which warrants the 68, but I think Derrick Rose's attributes right now are, there's enough there to where he could be effective within the right sort of frame of basketball going on, whatever the hell I just said. So how does 2K think this is going to go? If we get the simulator going, it's actually not a dumpster fire just yet. Spike Lee hasn't freaked out on the sidelines, but then again, the Knicks aren't really... Let's see the team's stats. Well, actually, Melo is the one who's disappointing. He's only averaging 20 points per game. What's up with that, Melo? I mean, that's just not going to cut it. Derrick Rose, 18-6, not bad. And if we continue the season, the Knicks, they really can't insert themselves as one of the key members of the Eastern Conference. They're just scratching the 8th seed right now, and that's just kind of what it is. It's a whole lot of mediocrity, which is an improvement, but at the same time, Knicks fans are probably rioting outside of Madison Square Garden. Let's be real here. They're definitely not going to be too happy with Phil Jackson for this season, and I guarantee Stephen A. Smith is probably yelling his brains out. Especially because he has some new guy at first take with him now that Skip left, and I don't know if anybody likes that guy. The YouTube comment section definitely doesn't like him. And this is how the season's going for the Knicks. According to 2K, Derrick Rose on this roster, it's going to warrant an improvement, but it's not setting the world on fire either. So if we look at the stats, Carmelo Anthony, still a bit of a disappointment. We have to give him credit for upping his assists to about 5 per game. I don't know why 2K thinks Melo's going to become a playmaker as he gets older. Derrick Rose, 18-6. Not bad. The percentage is, about 46% from the field. That's actually pretty decent. I think if Derrick Rose has that sort of a season next year for the Knicks, that's really not that bad, if we can be honest. Porzingis did not take the massive jump that I would like to see, but still an improvement nonetheless. So according to 2K, next season for Derrick Rose and the New York Knicks, if they do at least okay in free agency, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. It's not going to be amazing, but given the last, decade of the Knicks and what they've done as a franchise, that might not be what Knicks fans want to see. But then again, 2K, as we know, can be really freaking stupid sometimes when it comes to their outcomes. So perhaps the Knicks are going to set the world on fire next year and win like 50-something games.